Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Mike Pettit. I'm a co-founder and the CIO of OpenAmplify. Today, we're very proud to announce an important new capability in the OpenAmplify meaning platform. It's called Ampliverse. It is the first of its kind, and we believe it is a game changer for the monetization of web content, notably of social media content. As many of you know, OpenAmplify has as its central mission the surfacing of the meaning of content. Given an unstructured text or a web page, the OpenAmplify API will return an XML document containing so-called signals. Those signals detail the topics of discussion, what the sentiment is towards those topics, whether there's any specific guidance or advice being requested or provided about those topics, and what the expressed intentions of the author are towards those topics. These things and other signals combine to deliver a complete understanding of the text. However, monetization of that content requires more than just an understanding of the content. When we speak to customers, we learn that most of those customers need some form of customized classification. The general taxonomies available to them out there make decisions for them that may not be appropriate to the universe in which they are operating. Given an example like, I'm going to get that nice new clutch this weekend, should I buy it online or at the mall? One possible interpretation is that we're talking about cars. However, handbags is an equally valid and in certain cases more important classification, especially if you happen to sell handbags. We can customize that taxonomy, but that only gets you halfway there. Yes, it's about handbags, but what about handbags? Without understanding, classification is incomplete in itself, and that classification must reflect your needs, not general needs. What's needed is a 1-2 punch, not just classification, but understanding as well. Only the combination leads to a monetizable outcome. In this case, perhaps, let's place a handbag ad. Ampliverse and OpenAmplify can deliver that 1-2 punch. Let's talk a little bit about how OpenAmplify works. First, one needs an easy-to-use and effective method of codifying your universe, of delivering the classification scheme that you need for your specific purposes. We've created a very simple text format that's more than adequate for most needs and allows you to represent your classification scheme as a taxonomy or a tree. There's a very short learning curve. As you can see from the example, there's no magic involved here. Once you've created that representation of your requirements, you then upload that into OpenAmplify. We provide an upload page, or you can build this entire thing using the Ampliverse builder, which I'll describe later. Either way, Amplify then returns a permanent Ampliverse ID, a number that refers to your specific taxonomy. From that point forward, all you need to do is reference that Ampliverse ID in your OpenAmplify API call, and your monetization options are delivered in a single operation, both the understanding and the customized classification in a single pass through the API. Let's consider a couple of case studies. We're working with a major social CRM provider. Customer relationship management requires that a lot of caseload be handled. Most conversations and communications don't require any specific action, but those that do need to be fully understood and appropriately routed. The customer's triage schedule is it right. On the left, the example, my new phone is cool, I like the features, but you should make it easier to download apps without having to connect to my computer. OpenAmplify can identify that this is an engagement case. There's positive perception of the product, and advice is also being offered on that product. This customer may be willing to deepen that relationship. Understanding has been delivered. However, that in itself is not enough. The second part of the 1-2 punch is deciding what routing or action to take. This is where classification becomes important. Given words like phone, features, download, and apps, an effective taxonomy can lead to an appropriate routing or handling decision, in this case, an engaged customer, route to handset text CRM. This is a good example of how the combination of understanding and classification have permitted monetization or appropriate action of the content. As a second case study, let's consider that of a social media publisher. Social media is an unprecedented opportunity for advertisers. The opportunity to advertise next to content that refers to your brand is attractive, but it's risky, and it's risky because the content isn't always understood. If you understand that content, risk is lowered, the relevancy goes up, and from a publisher point of view, the value of that inventory increases. Consider an example like, I tested a nice new Camry yesterday. Great acceleration and a hybrid option. The price is right, I'll buy one. As humans, we understand that the polarity towards Camry is positive and that there's some intention to buy. This is an advertising opportunity. However, what action needs to be taken drives us into the realm of classification. An appropriate classification scheme helps us figure out what type of an ad to serve. Words like Camry, acceleration, and hybrid run against an appropriate taxonomy. Classify this text as being about cars, and being about Toyotas, and overall being about automotive. Given that we already have the understanding that there's an opportunity, this final part of the monetization scheme allows us to determine what ad to serve. These two case studies demonstrate the value of the 1-2 monetization punch. Let's talk now about how Ampliverse is delivered. As we've noted, Ampliverse defines a simple format for the creation of a customized taxonomy and an upload page to allow you to move that taxonomy into the OpenAmplify platform. We've also created an Ampliverse builder so that you can go from scratch. It's based on the very popular open source FreeMind mind mapper tool. It provides in its basic functionality the ability to create a taxonomy like the one you see here. However, we've augmented it with some features specific to Ampliverse. For example, if you need suggestions on words that relate to a topic about which your understanding might be incomplete, it gives you the ability to request that. And then appropriate words are suggested that you can then include in your taxonomy. This makes it faster and easier to create a taxonomy that meets your specialized needs. You can also test in place. The Ampliverse Builder makes it possible to type in a text or spider a URL and submits that to the OpenAmplify platform for analysis. As you can see in this example, dietitian led to nutrition, led to health and medicine, exactly as defined in your taxonomy, and also delivered that understanding that in this example we're not looking particularly fondly at that dietitian. The Ampliverse Builder is a useful tool, and it's available to you for free. Just go to www.openamplify.com and download it. Still, we recognize that tools are not a solution in themselves. Frequently, a customer needs specific expertise in the creation of taxonomies and ampliverses. They need someone to connect the dots and deliver an end solution. And of course, they need ongoing support. That's why today, we're very proud to announce that we forged a partnership with Early & Associates, a world leader in taxonomy development. The triangulation of your understanding of your requirements, the OpenAmplify platform and the Ampliverse feature set, and Early & Associates' understanding of taxonomy development ensure that your monetization goals will be met. We'd like to encourage you to try Ampliverse for free. Please go to www.openamplify.com and register for a free API key. Once you have, you can use the platform 1,000 times a day for free, for any purpose. Thank you very much for paying attention to this announcement.